You know, this morning is a particularly hard video for me because um, I always try to be so transparent when I get in front of this camera because it is my true goal to bring you the greats, the bads of the car business. This morning is I want to talk to you about yesterday's events. I get a lot of people that ask me to talk about daily things and being in the car business. Now, the cars are the fun part, the perks of buying what you want to buy, driving what you want to drive, and that's always wonderful in this business. But it is a business. And so I want to talk to you today about something that happened yesterday. For me, it was no big deal, but it's been bothering Shane for the past few days. And I guess what I really want to point out to you is things aren't as bad as you let them be. And Shane admitted yesterday that he had kind of been avoiding a problem. And this video is for those of you that avoid certain things and you just shouldn't avoid them. Anyway, what this is about, our floor plan man came in yesterday and he was requesting us to refloor some cars. Now, most of you know out there, I personally don't floor cars. Shane was flooring some. I've had experience and I've talked to you a lot out there about why I don't floor cars, and yesterday what happened is exactly why I don't floor cars. Shane's bought a lot of cars on that floor plan and he's made a lot of money. But like so many people do, he let the money losers pile up. And that's what people do when they have a floor plan. They avoid the situation at hand. High dollar cars are going to depreciate. I've said that over and over and over again. You know, you buy a late model vehicle with a few miles on it, less than 100,000 miles on it, and you pay up around $10,000, $12,000 for this vehicle, as some of these vehicles are. I mean, it's amazing to me, a 100,000 mile, $10,000 vehicle, it just makes no sense to me. Even an 8,000 mile vehicle, they depreciate. Now, cars depreciate. I don't care if you're a dealer or you're an individual, they're going to depreciate. But when you're investing in these vehicles, never, ever, ever invest in real estate or vehicles or anything. When I'm saying never invest in anything that you cannot see a return on your money within, on real estate, a maximum of 2 years if after you renovate something. On a car, a maximum of 60 days. If you don't see a profit, dump it. Okay, dump it. So Shane had been avoiding dumping some inventory that was going to lose money. So the man walks in here yesterday and he says, look, you've got 7 vehicles. Shane was not here. I was here. And so he had to address it with the man, being myself. And he said, you've got 7 vehicles, $42,000 over trust. They need to be refloored, or we need to look at some other options. Now, to refloor these vehicles was going to cost us $7,000. Okay, had to write them down 20%, and we had to pay the interest and a refloor fee. So it was going to be $7,000 to refloor. They were still going to go right back. That was going to cost us another $950 to refloor the cars. In addition to the $7,000, the $950 was going to be tacked on to these other cars. And so he said, well, we have an option. So we know that you, Mr. Barber, have some cars here and you don't use the floor plan. But we would gladly let you floor your cars if you wanted to, and we would give you the cash to floor your cars, and you could take that cash and pay down these bad cars. Okay, enough is enough. This is not happening. I'm not throwing good money after bad. No, you're not going to floor my cars. That's not going to happen. Now, what is going to happen is every one of these cars will be at auction next Tuesday. Okay? Now, they may not bring exactly what's owed on them on the floor plan. We have $13,000 in your company with reserve. That reserve is put there. We attack a certain amount on each car that we put in reserve, so in the event that this happens, that you're protected, that we've invested money to buy these cars down, we've prepaid for it in essence. So those cars are going to auction next week. Okay, they're going to be sold at absolute auction. Okay, whatever that is, they're going to be sold for it, as long as it's not something ridiculous. So basically what will happen is you will release the title to those cars to the auction. Whatever they don't bring, you put that amount of money in our AR account. Okay? I will look at the AR account and I will pay the AR account, and that will protect my reserve. But no, I'm not paying $7,000 to put a Band-Aid on this dead inventory. If you can't sell the son of a bitch in 120 days, what would make me think that I need another 120 days to lose another $7,000 plus another $950 plus interest on top of that? No, this Band-Aid's not happening. These cars are going to auction. You're going to release the titles to the auction, and I will settle on I will clear up my AR. Now, worst come to worst, we'll take it out of my reserve. I've got the money there. I've got the cash there. So I'm not going to sit here and pay you cash on these cars when you owe me twice that much money in reserve. This is not happening. And you're not getting the titles to my paid-for inventory. Okay? Don't think that I didn't know this was coming. I did not want the floor plan in the first place. Okay? I did that because my son never had experienced what he's experienced now, and I think that he's learned I know he's learned a lesson, because the floor plan is going away. We're going to pay you off. You're not going to lose a dime, and we're going to stop this bleeding. Okay? We're making good money here. That's not the issue. But we're bleeding over here. We're bleeding because of this floor plan. We're bleeding because of these cars that we've bought, expensive cars that are depreciating on this floor plan. So no, this bleeding is going to stop. Now my point is to you. A lot of you out there ask me about floor plans and things of that nature. You're talking about money, making money. Yeah, you've got to have a little money. But the more money that you've got out there, the more you can avoid the inevitable. And that's exactly where Shane wound up yesterday. They're maxed out. 120 days. You don't find an ass for that seat in 120 days. God knows, get rid of it. It may cost you $500 or $600. It may cost you $1,000. Literally, I personally, not cars that I floor plan, but there are some cars out here, and this is when we talk about doing well. I mean, I've actually bought a car that was 30 days old in inventory It had some issues with it. I ran it back through the auction and lost $3,000 in less than 30 days on that inventory. Now, there was some engine problems that developed in the car, so there was some circumstances. That one $3,000 loss was painful. But when you look at over 100 cars that you sell in a year's time that make $1,000 to $1,500, it's a drop in the bucket, a $3,000 loss. Now, this possibly $5,000 or $6,000 loss that we're going to take, Shane wanted to avoid it, okay? And I get that. He wanted to avoid it. But we have made literally over hundreds of thousands by flipping the cars. So it is time for us to get out of this water. You know, we've got the money. You're going to have the money if you run your business the way that you should have run your business. And that is building reserves on your floor plan accounts. That is living conservatively, like all of you know that I live conservatively. And I'm not going to go out here, and I thank God at this time, being a parent and being with my son here, no, we're addressing this head on, okay? Yeah, I understand why you wanted to avoid the loss. It's human nature to avoid things, okay? But there comes a time, a day of reckoning. You're going to have that day of reckoning. So if you've got out here and got these floor plan situations, ask about your reserves. Ask about, are they going to release the title if you go out and sell the car? Shane was under the impression, quite honestly, that unless, if he could not take these cars to auction, that was the impression he was under. He couldn't take them to the auction because he knew they were going to lose money. He knew he thought that they were not going to release the titles, and that we were going to have to come out of pocket, literally out of pocket, to pay all these cars off before we could write this floor plan down. You got to understand your floor plans, okay? Don't go out here and do these things without understanding the ramifications if something does happen. It's your responsibility to go out here and understand the ramifications. People look at, well, can I get a floor plan? Can I do this? Can I do? That's everything if everything is hunky-dory. But people, this is business. Not everything is going to be hunky-dory every day. I mean, over 80% of the time in this business, we're happy as larks, we're making money, we're doing well. When we get careless, that is when everything starts stockpiling, getting careless. I wish I could say that Shane got careless. You know, this is my son. I love my son, okay? He has to go through the same mistakes that I went through. I did this when I was under 40 years old. That you know, I got careless with the money. You cannot afford to get careless, because one day, the day of reckoning will arrive. I hope I've shed some light on these floor plans and what you can do on them. If you find the content in this video worth something, please like and share it. Have a wonderful day.